The room was dimly lit, the shadows dancing on the walls as if they had a life of their own. Claire sat on her bed, her eyes fixed on the flickering candle flame. She had always been drawn to true crime stories, but none fascinated her more than Ted Bundy. His charm, his intelligence, and his horrifying acts created a chilling enigma she couldn't resist exploring. Claire reached for the book on her nightstand, a biography of Bundy, and flipped through the pages. Each turn seemed to whisper secrets of the past, secrets that should have remained buried. As she read, the room grew colder, the air thick with an unspoken dread. Ted Bundy was not just a name, he was a presence, a shadow that lurked in the corners of the mind. Born in 1946, he appeared to be the quintessential American boy. Handsome, articulate, and well-educated, he had a future full of promise. But beneath that polished exterior lay a darkness that would shock the world. It was 1974 when the terror began. Women in the Pacific Northwest started disappearing without a trace. The authorities were baffled, and the community was gripped by fear. But Ted Bundy, the law student with a bright smile and a friendly demeanor, seemed above suspicion. Claire shivered as she read about his first known victim, Linda and Healy. A promising young woman, Linda was last seen alive on the night of January 31, 1974. She vanished from her home, leaving behind only a blood-stained pillowcase and an empty bed. The brutality of the crime was masked by Bundy's meticulousness, his ability to blend in, to appear normal. Bundy was a master of disguise, not in the physical sense, but in his ability to mask his true nature. He was a chameleon, changing his persona to fit his needs, to lure his victims into a false sense of security. He would feign injury, asking for help to carry books or load a sailboat, and when the unsuspecting woman complied, he would strike. As Claire continued reading, she could almost hear his voice, soft and persuasive, luring his victims with promises of safety. Bundy's charm was his greatest weapon, a tool he wielded with deadly precision. He preyed on the kindness and trust of his victims, turning their goodwill into a trap. In July 1974, the disappearances took a sinister turn. 2 women vanished on the same day from Lake Sammamish State Park. Janice Ott and Denise Naslund were last seen speaking to a man with his arm in a sling, who introduced himself as Ted. The brazenness of the abductions, in broad daylight and within earshot of hundreds of people, highlighted Bundy's growing confidence and audacity. Claire's heartbeat quickened as she read about Bundy's arrest in 1975. A routine traffic stop led to his capture, and the evidence found in his car, a ski mask, a crowbar, handcuffs, painted a chilling picture. Yet, even behind bars, his charm didn't wane. He escaped from custody twice, the first time in June 1977 and again in December the same year, each escape more daring than the last. The candle flame flickered as Claire turned the page, revealing the horrors of Bundy's final spree. His escape led him to Florida, where he unleashed a frenzy of violence that culminated in the brutal attacks at the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. In January 1978, Bundy broke into the sorority house, killing 2 women and severely injuring 2 others within a span of minutes. His rage was palpable, his thirst for blood insatiable. But Bundy's reign of terror was nearing its end. In February 1978, he was captured for the last time. The trial that followed was a media spectacle, Bundy relishing the attention, playing the role of his own defense attorney. His narcissism and hubris were on full display, yet the evidence against him was overwhelming. Claire closed the book, her hands trembling. The story of Ted Bundy was a reminder of the duality of human nature, the thin veneer of civility that can hide monstrous depths. She blew out the candle, plunging the room into darkness, but the sense of unease lingered. As she lay down to sleep, Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She told herself it was just the remnants of the book's chilling narrative, but the shadows seemed to whisper otherwise. Bundy's legacy was not just his crimes, but the fear he instilled, a fear that transcended time and space. In the quiet of the night, Claire's dreams were haunted by his face, his voice, his presence. The charismatic darkness of Ted Bundy was more than a historical account, it was a lingering nightmare, a reminder that true evil often wears a mask of normalcy. And as she drifted into an uneasy sleep, Claire knew that some stories were meant to be forgotten, but the horror of Ted Bundy would never truly fade.